Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, welcome to Strand.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous.
Aw. No reason to be nervous, though.
We'll see.
Just all these people looking at you.
I know.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
Have a chat.
So today we are celebrating the launch of Electric Soul, which is the third book in the Rise Up series, and it is all about Joey Mills here.
That's me.
Yeah. Written by the wonderful Taylor Saracen.
Thanks.
She did great.
Yeah. So did you guys want to kind of talk just briefly about the book, about the series, just kind of to give folks who might not know just more info?
Sure. Yeah, so the Rise Up series is a series of coming-of-age novels about LGBT teens. So it kind of goes through their coming-out stories. That was what we focused on. It was, so the first two books were with adult entertainers, and as well as now the third
Same
book.
with me.
Yeah, so we were kind of going through, because my whole theory with that when I approached the company was that a lot of people learn their sexuality while they're watching, erotic films. So I thought that it would be something that would be a lot of people could relate to, in a sense of like these are people who they've watched and now they're able to understand what their to relate to the struggles that they went through.
And there seems to be a lot of links between the ways we grew up too.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna.
A little bit of psychology in there.
A little, yeah, and I was a psychology major in college, so this is a very interesting study, if you will. But we made it fiction.
Yeah.
Fiction-y.
So then if you study that, so did you find, what were the kinds of connections that you found between writing the different books? Were there any similarities?
Wow. There was one major similarity, which was a lot of drug use for all three thus far, and the fourth book, who I'll be saying who it is in a few minutes. But I was like, dude, did you do a lot of drugs? And he's like,
really just weed,
and he's like,
so.
No. Yeah, yours was weed. You were the least of the using.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, you were. I was like, you were pretty, because the first was Adderall and the second was Xanax, and then we got into just synthetic weed, Mad Hatter.
Oh, one time it was terrible.
The worst time.
Literally
if you read the book,
don't.
yeah.
You'll
read it in the book.
I'm not allowed to say that here. It's not legal here, but.
Yeah, so that was, I think a link is drugs, and I would say there's definitely some parental influences missing in the picture in a few of them as well. And then in the second one, which is Twink, there's one that he would have wished was missing. So I think that but generally Blake and Joey both had really good relationships with their parents. And Kyle, who's the second book, has a strong relationship with his father, who's really supportive now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what was the writing process like for you guys? Did you just kind of interview him and then write stuff, or did you send him stuff to review? Just how did that work?
Well, it was a lot of phone calls, but she had known me beforehand because she had worked and written the other two books. So we had gotten to know each other. So she knew my personality and everything already. So she would just have to call and be like, what are the major events? Give me your life story. And then she'd call back and check up on those. And then I would review all the chapters as they came through.
Okay.
Every single chapter.
Every single chapter.
Because I wanted, if anything didn't feel genuine, even if it was fiction, there were parts of it that I just completely made up out of nowhere. But if it didn't feel genuine, I didn't want it to be, what was published.
She nailed the personality, though. All of the mannerisms and stuff are there. So.
That's awesome.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. That's a very good job then. So then how much is based on real life and how much is more creative license?
I like I said, it's the big stories, probably half and half.
Okay.
I would say.
Did you and your friends actually burn down that trailer in the opening scene?
It didn't burn down all the way.
Okay.
But we definitely lit a fire inside of it, and we couldn't get it out. And then our friends ran in there and like threw a blanket over it or something.
In
I
the
don't know.
bathroom.
I had already like gone. I was scared the cops were gonna come. I was done and gone out of there.
But in the bathroom, that actually happened, and they did that spray foam, and like so that was all. And then I go, is it okay?
Like the expanding foam you use for like insulation.
Yeah.
And I
Don't
go,
light it on fire.
is it okay if I have you burn the trailer down and then stare at the destruction and think it's beautiful? And he's like, yeah, that's badass. Like, do it.
I definitely
like,
used to like burn
like,
stuff
take
as a kid, and
a little
yeah.
pyro.
It was
all the time. Like anytime we were at our dad's house, like we were just in like a little empty lot next door, like lighting fires with stuff. So
Yeah, and like there's a very interesting story too that Mr. Seaver, I don't know if anybody's read the book all the way through, but he was the counselor, like the guidance counselor in the book. He didn't actually exist. Like that's all an original character. However, when I brought it up to Joey was like, but let me tell you about my actual guidance counselor. And it's an even more interesting story. So it's like, oh man, I wish I knew.
which I failed to tell you beforehand.
I know.
I don't know why.
I wish I
know
knew
why.
about that one.
But no, actually, no. So my counselor's son had written, or that came out to her as gay. I don't remember the full story. But what she had done was she just wrote him a note back and was like, listen, I don't care that you're gay, but what I do care about is how dirty your room is. You need to clean your room. Like, she's like, I don't care. Like, you're gay, cool. Like, come on, get it together. But so that's why I like had her as my counselor. But no, she was a really amazing lady. So
Yeah. So I was like, man, that's a good line. Kudos
Missed
to his
it.
counselor.
definitely.
Yeah.
So you said that you two already knew each other even after you had started the series. So how did you then approach him about being featured for this book? Did you approach her? Just how did that choice get made?
I mean, I already knew. Like, I was like, I could go through. I mean, the first one was, I was like, okay, that's the first one. And then the second one was up in the air. And then it became Kyle, which was awesome. And then I was like, well, Joey Mills, like right up there. Like, I needed him.
She threw me there.
So we met.
We knew it was coming. We
Yeah.
just didn't know when yet.
And so we met for the first time on, it was Fremont Street. And I remember everybody was like going out and whatever. And I like turned to him and I was like, I would love to write a book about you. And he's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
tell me your whole
okay,
life,
sure.
tell me your whole life story
Yeah.
and we'll just do that, okay?
It's interesting, like, you would never expect somebody to like be like, hey, we want to write a book about you, because I think my life is just very average. So
And he's wrong, so it's amazing.
but no, like I feel like a lot of it, like I mean, my job isn't average, and like what I do isn't average, but like my day-to-day life doesn't really differ that much.
But, yeah,
from
but
the
you're not
person.
average. Like, you're just wonderful. So, like, I
think
thought
I'm
that people should know
average,
that. I know,
but
but
I
that's
am
why
the
you're
average,
wonderful.
yeah.
It's like you're not like an egomaniac.
like,
You
what
just
is
think you're
normal?
average and you're extraordinary.
Well, thanks.
Seconding her.
Yeah. So,
Well, thanks.
Of course.
I'm flattered.
yeah. Oh, we have a
thank you.
third. And everyone's like, okay, let's
Is there
just
a
do
fourth?
this for
So then so you had already known him, but how did you approach the first person then for the series?
Oh, I approached 13 Red Media. I was a writer of a different name. I wrote some romance novels, you know. Oh, yeah.
Spicy.
Oh, they were spicy. It kind of segued into my career. So I wrote a few romance novels, and my publisher said, you really need to write a series because people want to get lost in a series. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to write a series about porn stars. And like it will be this fake studio where everybody's like has crushes on each other and then they're fighting and all this kind of stuff. And then I went, why don't I actually just approach a porn studio, because that would probably be a lot more interesting. I could write romance novels about their characters. And then I kind of thought, meh, that's kind of what the genre already is. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something more, and not that it isn't authentic, but I wanted to do something where we got to know the people behind it and not so much the physicality of it.
Yeah.
What did you think it was going to be like? I'm honestly curious, because no, like, I feel like you were expecting it to be like, and what you would have written, I feel like it would have been like a Bad Girls Club mixed with like The Bachelor.
So like exactly how
with
it
like
is.
cameras.
No, it would have been like a lot more scandalous, I think. Like I would have had it be like, because I'm just like a little dark like that, you know what I mean?
Oh,
There would be
yeah.
like a murder or two. Like there would be just something like, I would have to like spice it up because like, you know, sex can only do so much for people. We need like murder.
An Olivia Pope type of gal.
Yeah, I'm wearing the coat today. You know, we have to like
You're wearing the
really
white hat.
step it up. The white hat?
The white hat.
I have
That's
to
what
earn
she
that
says-
back.
That's what
Yeah,
she
I
says
have to
in
earn it
there all the
back.
time. Yeah, the white hat.
Yeah, we love scandal.
It's a great show.
But a scandal, not a scandal. Like we love the show Scandal. We'll stick with that tonight here in New York.
I love that. Also, I want to read then the story that you had originally thought of, also with murder.
Oh, okay. So
I would absolutely read that.
2020, we'll be back here. I'll write that.
Please
Yeah,
do.
it's about to get wild.
How has this book and the series changed your guys' lives?
Well, I'm here, which I never expected to have a room full of people here for me. Day to day, not very much other than like the touring part of it, but it's really just like the perception of myself. I still can't like see somebody the way that they see me. I don't get why people like see me the way they do. I just don't get it, but they do. So thank you guys.
Wow, that's a question for me that feels weird. I'm no, but just because like the reason why I got into writing at all is because I had twins, like, and I was at home with them, and I'm like, wow, my brain is turning to mush. Like, not because I don't love to be with my children, but because it was like there was only so much you could do not communicating with people. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna communicate in a different way. I've always loved to write. I wrote in college, high school, you know. And now, like, I'm this, like, mother of two who's touring the nation with
Your life
Joey
has done a complete
Mills.
flip, I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's, like, next
100%.
level. Like, I'm looking over there. They have, like, I don't know, Jewish books with, like, Jewish stars. And I'm like, wow, okay. Like, I'm Jewish. And, like, I'm in New York. And I just thought if I was Jewish in New York, I would be doing something a little bit different. And this is wild, you know?
We're here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
You're like,
So how have friends and family reacted, since it is based on your life? Like, have friends and family reacted in certain ways?
Well, my sister was excited to be in it, of course.
one of them.
Yeah, one of my sisters, and my other sister is kind of salty that she's not in it, but they're stepsisters.
As
They
much,
weren't
as
really
much.
like at that period in my life, like they weren't that around. But so she's a little salty about that. My mom is just excited. I don't really think she knows what to think about it yet. So
And, like,
once we told her we were doing a tour, she's like, oh
She's
wow.
like, I'm there.
Like,
Wait, but it's funny because I sent Bridget a copy of the book, and I was like, let me know what you think. And then I like hadn't heard from her, but then she was liking my like tweets on Twitter, so it's like she likes me, so it's okay. I was like, she's still good with it.
yeah, I honestly don't know if she's read it all the way through yet.
Oh my
We'll
god.
see.
Well,
We'll
it
see.
must-
I mean, I sent it to her like as the chapters were coming through, so she's
Well-
probably read it all the way through. But I haven't gotten like a full review from her yet.
Well, and it's also probably emotional for her in a lot of ways because as much as it's
Yeah.
your life, it's her life. You know,
Yeah,
we
that's
talk about
true.
her life too. So I think it's a matter of being like, you
And
know,
seeing it from like a different perspective. Yeah.
yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, I really liked your relationship with your mom. It was very
Thank you.
touching.
I really enjoy it.
Aw,
He said
No,
his-
she's the sweetest, most supportive woman I could ever ask for in my life. So
that's so
couldn't
sweet.
ask for
I
anything
said,
better.
would you say you're a mama's boy? And you were like,
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Like
the relationship's
if my
probably
like
better.
I don't know what I would do without her at all. Like yeah, I would lose my mind. So
Aw.
The relationship's probably even better than what I wrote because I was writing it during like a turbulent time. Like she was pissed at him a lot.
yeah, like when the book is based is when we weren't like in the best of places with each other. So
But it still seems
yeah.
like you cared
Mhm.
about each other.
Yeah, we like always cared about each other. I was just like in the mindset of a teenager, like you pissed me off, I'm gonna stay pissed off at you just because
He's a Taurus.
I can, because I want to, because I can. So
Oh, have you heard from readers and fans how they've identified with the stories at all?
not very much yet.
Okay, this is
I'm
early
sure it's
in
to
the
come.
story.
Yeah.
Oh, it will.
I'm sure it's to
Yeah,
come. It's only
it
been
will.
out for a couple days, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's been people at every tour stop that I've like said, there was I think the most impactful for me was, I'm not gonna cry though. I'm not gonna cry. So we'll just skip that part. It was in Las Vegas where a girl, she was 13 years old, and she came up and she said, she didn't know the books right off the bat, and she said, I want to tell you that I'm bisexual. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, that's great. Like,
but that was like her coming out.
She said, I've never told anyone that before. And I was like,
so that was like that was a moment that you did not catch at all.
No, and then she told me, and then her, I think it was an older brother, came up, and he's like, I'm really proud of her that she said that. And I was like, well, I'm really proud of her too. And I went into I was a teacher. I went into teacher mode. I was like, I'm so proud of you. And then I cried for at least 2 hours afterwards.
I mean, there's little tears coming.
I know, I see them, but
eyes.
it was amazing. I was really, really touched by that. And there's been a lot of stuff. We got a message for Blake's tour that her daughter, no. Okay.
She's gonna cry again.
Her daughter, she's she doesn't get invited to sleepovers anymore, which being a 13-year-old girl, that's the most important thing that you can get invited to. And she goes, because they found out that she was bisexual. So she's I didn't have her read the whole book. Blake's book is definitely a little bit more adult than the other two. But she said I highlighted important passages, and they really helped her through a hard time. And I was like, okay, thank you. Well, I've lived my full life now, and I can go.
Which that's the goal of it. But I never I feel you don't really expect it to happen. That's your end goal, but to see it in in person and in life, it'd be wild.
Yeah, you're about to give it a beat,
I know,
and you're oh God, I'm not ready. It's a lot of crying.
I'm gonna cry somewhere on this tour.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it.
I think you just did.
I started tearing up.
It is beautiful. You're changing lives. You're giving people courage out there.
It's so crazy. I would have never. To me, this is just the story of my life. Hopefully, learn from it and don't make the mistakes I did.
But also, learn from it and get the courage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you were courageous.
Yeah.
I didn't think so at that time. I just thought I was cool. I just thought I was being cool.
You're so cool.
You also were being cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That too.
So in the book, Joey, you are drawn to art. Do you still paint and draw, or even think about fashion?
I don't draw as much. I do paint a lot. I have a massive roll of canvas at my house, and I actually have pieces of plywood that I just staple it around because I don't want to build the actual canvas frames. But yeah, I have 30 canvases sitting in there. I'm actually at the tour in LA, the space we rented to do the release party. I'm gonna have my art for sale there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've made some cool new pieces.
And fashion, I mean.
Oh, I like fashion. I like fashion. So that just I have so many different one day it's 80s, and the next day it's just all black, or I don't have a specific style that I go for. I feel I switch it up a lot.
Well, that's
it's
fun.
Week by week.
Yeah, you keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He is interesting.
Whatever's left in the closet. that's still clean.
What's clean?
Do you, Taylor, have any advice to potential writers?
Yeah, for a while I was just saying, just write. But then I felt that was kind of what everybody says, and it's not that easy to just, just sit there and write. What I can say to potential writers, and I'm not saying I don't think that I'm the queen of all writing, it's not at that point where but I do think that everybody would benefit from taking a psychology class if you're writing people, because the most important thing is to understand what people's motivations are. And I found that my background in psychology really, really helped me because it connected why are you doing something into what drove you to do it. So I think that if you're writing people at all, you should have some sort of interest or background in psychology, because that's what will make a big difference.
You have to be able to see it from their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Empathy and sympathy and just...
I felt that really came through. I don't tend to read a lot of more YA stuff, but the way that it was written, it just everyone felt very genuine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They are genuine.
Yeah,
so
they all. Yeah,
through.
most of the people, they even had their real names in there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did anyone object to having their real name in there?
One. But she's not really in the book.
My stepsister went the name Natalie, but she's only in it for a very short period.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, my mom was like, use it. My sister wanted her real name to be used.
I picked a different name for her, and she's like,
Yeah.
just how about Paige?
And then Maddie and Emily also, that's the real names. You can look them up on Facebook. Just kidding.
Can I say what I thought was the funniest thing about the book?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Wait,
I forgot what you're... Oh, yeah.
I was like, the funniest thing of all of it is that, like, literally Joey's the only person that doesn't have his real name in the book.
That is true.
It was like, that's the only
I mean, it's been
person.
put out there. I don't have to...
Yeah, but
I don't have to hide it, but if everybody's going to realize, like, who it is, it needs to be that name.
Well, it's
so.
a brand. It's a brand.
Yeah, it's the brand.
But I thought that was pretty ironic. I was like, okay. They're all like, yeah, go for it. It's funny.
I would have let you use my real name, though.
I know,
Like,
but
if you would have asked, I would have been like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, but then it's sort of
I would
like,
have had, like...
and then people would hear the, your name story, and they'd be like, they just don't identify it because
Exactly.
you
They
are
would be
Joey
like, I thought this
Mills.
book was about Joey.
Yeah.
It's clearly
and you're
about...
like, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Taylor, do you know what your next book is going to be?
I do. This is, I said that I wasn't going to announce it yet, but I'm definitely going to announce it. Because it's the Strand. I was like, if you want the dish, I'll dish it. Like, let's do it. Let's spill the tea.
It's tea time.
Oh,
It's tea
we want
time.
the dish.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna give it. It is Max Carter. So he's been with the studio for like 7 years, and
A long time.
It felt like a very good next book. Good fit. I actually, I kind of spaced things out geographically too, because Blake was in Kentucky, and then Kyle in Texas and Tennessee, and then Joey's in Missouri, and then we're going back to Texas. I needed to take I love Texas, but I was like,
She
well,
doesn't
let's
love
take
it that much.
I was like, let's take a little break from Texas. Let's go to Missouri. So
It's so much better. But
yeah.
I don't know if anybody's in here is from Missouri, but it's if you're from there. So it's a great place.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go.
Wonderful.
My first time coming up.
Ooh.
They
March
have
24th.
good pizza. They have good pizza and toasted ravioli, which you guys have no idea what that is, or gooey butter cake.
Oh,
Make
butter
it at
cake.
home. Gooey butter. It's literally butter and powdered sugar. Like, it's the worst thing you could possibly eat, but
I'm in.
it's delicious.
I'm in. So we'll get butter cake.
Oh, I'll make you gooey butter cake. It's literally a bag of powdered sugar, like 5 sticks of
And
butter,
he
and a
cooks.
cake mix.
He was making
Out of the
macaroni
box.
and
The cake
cheese
mix out of the box.
And that's just like, he is obsessed with this macaroni and cheese that he can make.
It's Provel cheese, man. You gotta get Provel cheese. If you ever go to St. Louis, just get something with Provel cheese.
I will
Delicious.
do that. Oh, make
They
note.
don't even have it in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
You know Provel
Exactly,
cheese.
and I went
Yeah.
to like a cheese mart, like a cheese
Oh,
Walmart
Provel.
size in Wisconsin. They didn't have it.
Oh.
But it's like a mixture of like Provel, Munster, and mozzarella, I think. So it's really good.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out more about the series or you two, where can they find you?
13redmedia.com. That just got really loud.
You're like, I want everybody to hear the name. Read 13 Red.
Yeah.
It's Read 13 Red on Instagram and Twitter. And if they want to follow you personally.
My Instagram is Joey Mills no, it's not Joey Mills online anymore. It's the Joey Mills. It's the Joey Mills on Instagram.
What is it?
Twitter is Joey Mills XXX, and then Snapchat is Joey Mills XXX1. So they're all there.
Did someone beat you to the first Joey Mills XX?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And it's probably like not
It's
even.
probably a fan account too, honestly.
Yeah.
It probably is. Or no, my old Snapchat was Joey Mills XXX, and then that got banned.
Oh.
Obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. And I'm just Taylor Saracen everywhere, and I'm not as interesting as Joey Mills.
She's pretty
XXX
interesting.
One.
I am
But
sure that you
honestly,
are also
she'll keep you more.
interested.
She'll
Yeah.
keep you more updated on like the scoop than I will.
100%, because Joey goes like this to me. He goes, you know what? And I was like, what? He's like, the fans know more about my life than I do. Like, they know where I'm going. Like, if he needs to find out where he's going for something.
No, but
he's
like, there's been like, if I run out of pictures to post on Instagram, I can go through the pictures that I'm tagged in on Instagram and I can like screenshot those and repost them. So if you guys
Thank
ever
you for
wonder
doing
why the
the
edit
Lord's
looks
work.
similar,
Thank you for doing the Lord's work, fans, giving me content.
well, no, and it's like all pictures that I used to have, but I've been through so many phones that like you just lose them all. But there's like an infinite photo gallery of anything that's ever happened in my life. So it's the best thing ever. Don't have to have like Facebook for a photo album. It's good.
It's very handy.
Mhm.
Awesome. Was there anything you guys wanted to add?
I'm just excited to talk to everybody.
I would say buy the book, but you guys all already did. So,
So we
But
hope
yeah.
you enjoy it. Write a review.
and we're
Yes.
gonna have like a little
Yeah.
conversation time after this.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna
Yeah.
sign the books and then everybody can hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
like a plan.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna move to signing / one-on-one question time. So thank you very much for coming.
Big round
You
of
guys so
applause
much.
for Taylor, Joey, and Cynthia.